My name is Father Derek Darby. I am the administrator here in the Cathedral of Christ the King Parish in Mullingar, and I work here with 4 colleagues in looking after 5 churches, but primarily our responsibilities are here in the Cathedral. The Cathedral itself is set in the heart of Mullingar. It was built on the former grounds of an original cathedral that was here, and it was built in 1939. And the miraculous thing about this cathedral is that all of the expenses associated with it were paid off before the cathedral was opened, which was quite miraculous given the times and the circumstances of so many people. Today we are left with a beautiful legacy that is rich in heritage, that is an important aspect of people's faith, and anyone who visits the cathedral will notice the time and effort that went into planning the detail and the intricate detail of every aspect of the cathedral. As you approach the town of Mullingar, your eye is drawn towards the towers above us here, which dominate the skyline, marking the presence of this magnificent building, the Cathedral of Christ the King. It is where generations of our parishioners here in Mullingar, and also from the wider Diocese of Meath, have come to pray and celebrate the sacraments together. On entering the cathedral, the sanctuary is no doubt the focal point, in particular the mosaic of the Ascension in the apse, and also the high altar, which along with many other works can be attributed to William Early & Co. of Camden Street, Dublin. With the foundation stone being laid on this site in August 1933 by Bishop Thomas Mulvaney, it was 6 years later, on the 30th of August 1939, that solemn consecration took place. However, plans had been in place long before that, as Bishop Matthew Gaffney in 1900 stated his intention to build a new cathedral to replace the Church of the Immaculate Conception, noting that it was unworthy of this great diocese, and furthermore stood without an atom of art to relieve it. Bishop Gaffney's intentions came to fruition with the execution of his plan by Bishop Mulvaney, who with the support of his clergy and parishioners engaged the finest artists and craftspeople of the day. One of the most noted artists was Russian-born Boris Anrup, whose mosaics can be seen in the Chapel of St. Anne and also in the Chapel of St. Patrick, located on the opposite sides of the cathedral. Situated before that, on the left, is the Chapel of St. Joseph, with its lifelike depiction in marble of St. Joseph, the carpenter. And, on the right again in marble, the Chapel of St. Therese of Lisieux. The Stations of the Cross, created out of small pieces of coloured tile against a background of gold mosaic, are a most striking feature, framed between the columned arches which form part of the overall design created by architect Ralph Byrne. The fresco of the Resurrection in the mortuary chapel was painted by Father Angus Buckley. The cathedral, which also has a museum, was rededicated in 1997 following extensive renovations which included the rebuilding of the cathedral organ. Each time we enter the cathedral, the inscription on the floor in the front porch reminds us that this is no other but the house of God and the gate of heaven. I hope that this brief introduction to the Cathedral of Christ the King will extend an invitation to you to join us here, to wonder in awe at the majesty of this great building, and to be inspired by the great artists that have gone before us.